Hey everyone, you're listening to the second episode of the second season of Draft Dodger podcast. As usual, it's me with you, your host, Ukrainian stand-up comedian who tries to make it in Toronto, Vova Zion. I'm really glad to hear about you, and I should remind you that if you like what I'm doing, you can support me on Buy Me a Coffee platform or just by following me on my social media. You can find the link in bio while you're listening to this episode. And today I'm going to introduce you to the one of the most interesting comedians, in my opinion, in Toronto. And I really find his humor and his comedy like more existential than everyone else tried to do in here on the stage. So please warmly welcome my great friend, Darren Bourke. Yeah, nice to see you today, recording my podcast. We're having Darren Bourke, really a nice comedian that I personally admire with. And I met you like a year ago when you first did some shows at Bourke in Toronto.
Yeah.
And it was really fun experience, especially like going in there. Sometimes like people are not expecting of comedy going in there.
Oh, I was losing my mind sometimes there. Like I had a lot of fun and it made me a bit better because I had to like drag laughs out of people sometimes. But yeah, people at the back, they didn't want to be watching comedy. They didn't care. And but it made it, I mean, it was fun. I did have fun.
How did you feel about producing that show? I mean, like in general, you just started, I remember it started like an open mic.
Yeah.
But then at some point you realized like, okay, we need to add some spice in. So you just started to do the prize.
Yeah. I started doing it as a competition because the bar were like, the bar said they would pay me to do it. They would pay me $100 gift card. And then I said, look, I don't really mind about the payment for myself. So I just said, yeah, I might as well put it up. Because some people weren't even trying. Like when, I know if it's a bad room, that's fine, but it's still your job to try to make them laugh. And I had been getting people out. I was using Meetup and I was getting people there. And still some people would go up and just not do well at all. Because they weren't good enough, but they weren't really trying anyway for the people that were there because it looked so shit. But I was still making people laugh on my turns. So I was like, look, I gotta get them to want to do a bit better.
Yeah, that was a funny show. Was a funny show. And I remember like when there was a girl from North Korea coming in.
Oh yeah.
There was a nice riffing on that one. She didn't expect that, and she like everybody was like, "Oh, you seem like a little bit of racist."
Yeah, that was it. Because at the start it was like, oh, and then she said 3 or 4 things. And it was like racist and pretty homophobic as well. She was like, yeah, because that was the one Lewis recorded that one.
I think so.
And he caught a thing that it made it really funny. I was just up on stage, kind of bombing for a second, and then it cut to her, and she said, "Is this a gay comedy show?" I said, like, no, it's not gay comedy. But she, and going back and forth with her was hilarious. See, that's the thing about those shows. They'll never happen again. Like that day will never happen again. But it's like it still brings it like a little laugh to you to remember it back.
That's true. I mean, like you're remembering that stuff, and you're like, okay, that was really like riffing on a spot. And you're just trying to get like those laughs as well, because like you were doing whatever you would like to do. And then, but that was the period when I was just recently doing stand-up like in English for half of a year. Yeah. And it was so embarrassing for me because like I felt so anxious, and I realized that, okay, I can't do that anymore. Like I need to do something. Yeah, some of the jokes landed well, but some of them were like, what's going on in there? Actually, people were not like giving a shit. But again, that was a nice spot to like get used to that. Get used to the reaction of the audience, that it can be like really, really in a dispute, you know?
Yeah, because it's all practice. It's just training. And it's like after doing that show, it was like I had a weight belt on, and then I get to take off the weights when I go into the back room now. When there's an actual audience, it's like think back to when I was trying so hard at Bourke. It makes like club comedy very easy than when you go through those ones first.
Yeah,
so it was worth it. It was worth it. I definitely don't regret doing it, but some days I was so stressed because like even getting the lineup together, it's just like I have to think about it for so long before it happens. Doing the meetup, posting, and you're getting no response from it. Like some days I do so much work during the week that I could have just done nothing because nobody came anyway. And so I'm thinking about it so much. By the time I actually get to go on stage, I'm like pulling my hair out because like comedians will text me, I'm going to be late. Can I go first? Blah, blah, blah. And then I have to go on and open the show cold. And so like everyone coming at me, and then I have to just turn it on and be like, oh, welcome, here we go. I have to bring on this big persona. When inside, I'm like, I hate this. Why did I sign up to do it?
And that's how you're figuring out what works better when you're producing as well.
Yeah.
But like, what's about the producing experience in general? Would you like to produce more shows after that, or you're like, no?
Like, not really. I definitely will. But no, I hate it. Like, I hate it. It kind of gives me it's like I'm anxious the whole time. I have anxiety the whole time. Now I like get maybe a little touch of anxiety before going, but not even really too much anymore because I feel like I'm comfortable enough on stage. But there I have to get into comedians, and I always have there's a little thing in the back of my mind when I'm asking like a good comedian. I feel like, do I deserve to ask them to come? And is it going to be, if I'm not paying, and I don't know if it's going to pay because I don't know how many is going to come, but without a big name, I'm not going to be able to get people anyway, so I'm kind of like, maybe that will make it pay, and it's like, but I feel like nervous about that. I suppose it's going to be less now, the more I'm meeting people and I have more friends in comedy now that I'm kind of back in it. But at the time, I was just like nervous that I would make a show myself by bringing a big comedian and then nobody coming to the show.
So it's like more like push and pull while you're doing that. Yeah. So like back and forth all the time. You keep thinking of that. Yeah, it's really complicated stuff. We've been producing the show with Sergey as well, but I realized at some point we're putting in more money and investing more into that show that we actually can make of it, and like to share and split the money with other comedians, and we're like, we need to figure out everything. We need to figure out our financial situation, and then probably we get back to it.
Yeah.
But who knows? We'll see. Yeah. So I don't know, like if people notice from the accent, but you're Irish.
Yes.
And did you start to do stand-up in Ireland or?
No, I started here. I went home for 4 months at one point and stayed at home. So there was an open mic that I could go to at home, and but it was only once every 2 weeks. And I would have to drive like 2 hours to go to one show to get like 5 minutes. But this one open mic, I did really well the first time, so they would give me 20 minutes. So that was nice. So I get 20 minutes every couple of weeks. But no, I had already started over here.
Nice.
So I came over. I always liked it at home. I always liked watching it. It was like making people laugh. That was like my thing. But then coming over here, I just met a buddy, John Ramtron, his name. I haven't seen him in a while now. But he used to do open mics, and I was working with him. So I would tag along and watch him at the open mics and really just enjoy it. And then we stopped working together, and then I didn't see him for like a year. And I saw that he had a show on Facebook, so I just turned up randomly, watched the show, we chatted afterwards, and then he texted me after and he said, I've booked you on a show in 3 weeks. And he said, you can back out if you want and be a little ginger bitch, is what he said. Or you're doing it. So I got that. I remember I was at work when I got it. I was behind the bar and I got that, and it was like a rush of, it was like, it wasn't a bad feeling, even though I was like so nervous and scared, but I was like, wow, it's happened now. It's coming. So for the next 3 weeks, then I was walking. My friend got injured at the time, and I used to. So I was walking his dog a lot. So I used to just put in the headphones, but not have anything on, and just talk while I was walking the dog, and just like talk through jokes, making up jokes, and doing. And then I did the set 3 weeks later. So nervous, like more nervous than I've ever been at anything, and writing the whole time, like the most I've ever put into anything. And then I did like 7 minutes, and people laughed. It was only like 10 people in the audience. It was a little bar, but everyone laughed. I think I did pretty good.
That's nice. I mean, like even with the small crowd, sometimes it can be really a good show.
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously, a lot of people are saying, okay, if we have the crowded venue, like packed one with 1,000 people, you will get like more laughs, obviously, because it's like the bigger opportunity and the bigger possibility to get someone to laugh. But yeah, with the small crowd, it's a little bit tricky. What I wanted to ask, like, I know there's a lot of different writers in Ireland who are bringing in a lot of different humor, and for example, like Samuel Beckett, Martin McDonagh. One of the most popular, I guess, right now because like his movies with Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell are amazing, and that's really funny. What about like you? Have you been like ever interested like in the, let's call it folk comedy? I mean, like what's interesting about Ireland? Do you think what we haven't discovered yet? But like Irish comedy, maybe Irish comics who are doing in their sets or whatever it can be.
Well, I love the Irish comedy. Like when I even did like the young guys coming up, that are doing podcasts and stuff. Like they make me laugh a lot because it's like my humor that I grew up with, and it's more ruthless. It doesn't really, and it's funny. Like it's good-hearted and it's funny. But in Ireland, like everyone's a comedian. Like everyone thinks they're a comedian. In the pub, you're making people laugh. That's why you go to the pub. So it's like everyone's fighting to get their jokes in. So everyone thinks they're comedians anyway. So I've been here since I was 21. So my humor is, I guess it's just from my life anyway. So like Irish, I haven't been living there for a long time. So I don't usually talk about it too much, but I definitely want to. It's like in the back of my mind as the thing that I'm missing, basically, just the differences between there and here, but I just haven't been able to, it hasn't popped up yet.
Okay, yeah, like that's an interesting stuff. And you know what? I just realized that we've been talking about like everyone is funny in Ireland. I guess it's like everyone is funny in every different country. And the first thought that I just got in there during that, like, who was the first person for you who actually like you looked at and thought, okay, I want to be funny like that person? I'm not talking about comedians, but like, for example, someone of your family. I guess for me it was my dad, because my dad was cracking jokes all the time. So
it's my dad for sure. Like he would always, my friends all loved coming over to my house because my dad would be just making people laugh the whole time. Like him and his buddies, like it's just joke after joke after joke. That's what he always was doing. Even in a bar, at family functions, Dad was the one talking. Dad was the one making people laugh, and I always loved that. Like I never loved, like even when there was late parties and stuff, I would hate going to bed because I know I'm gonna miss some jokes. I'm gonna miss some laughter. Like it was like growing up. It was. That was it, 100% my dad. So I kind of got that as well. And then I was that kind of person at school and stuff. But always, he used to make us laugh so much.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting when like you're looking for that one relationship in your life and you're never like getting back to it at some point. But like when you suddenly have that click in your mind, and you're like, okay, that actually was the first person who made me laugh and who made laugh all of my friends or all of my relatives. And like if we will launch our conversation from that point, who is the first comic that you've seen and you were like, okay, that was the greatest comedian that I would like to be like him? Not like the first one in general, like we talked about your dad, but what's the professional one?
I think I couldn't get over like Eddie Murphy, Raw and Delirious. I couldn't, like those, we were just saying those lines at school all the time to each other. Like we knew it off by heart. Like we would just be doing the Eddie Murphy stuff all the time. Remember Cat Williams is another one that when I saw him, I was crying. I was absolutely crying. Tommy Tiernan, he's been doing comedy for like 35 years, I'd say, in Ireland. So he was the biggest in Ireland. He'd be the most known comedian in Ireland. So I really enjoyed his stuff. And then Jimmy Carr was always my favorite growing up. Now that I've started doing comedy, his style isn't my style anymore. Like I love him. I do love him, but the American style is different. There's more realness to it. That's the way. My stuff is true. Like I tell my true story. I tell my secrets. Then I make those funny. Jimmy doesn't really do that. He just writes jokes. He's an extremely good joke writer.
Yeah.
And like now I can see what he's doing too much. It's like I've opened the bonnet of the car and I know what he's doing, and it's just like it's kind of like trick. But he's really good. Like he's really funny still. But like I know like Tim Dillon now would be. But I think he makes me laugh more than anyone else now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so basically, yeah, like when you're looking at the person who is just, you know already like how you can deconstruct the joke and why it's working. That's why Jimmy Carr is good, because like he's obviously one of the greatest writers nowadays.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're just looking into more existential humor, as you said, that makes you think a little bit in a different way. That what we've been talking about on the porch before we start recording.
Yeah.
And that's, in my opinion, also like the completely experimental field, when you can go out and you don't know what will make people laugh, definitely what will make you laugh. So yeah, how do you feel about that in general? What are your discoveries in that style while you've been working on that?
Well, I think when I started telling the truth first, like everyone starts off by writing jokes that are going to be funny, like write this, misdirect, and then you start off by doing that. That's how you begin comedy usually. And so I already knew I have ammo before getting up on stage. But the first time, I can't remember exactly the first time when I just went on a rant and just told the truth and was just like, fuck it, I'm telling the truth. And then they kept liking it. And in my mind, I was like, I'm not supposed to do this. This isn't the thing. This is like, I didn't even write this. I didn't do anything. Like this is just me telling my true story. And they liked that even more. And then it was like a discovery. Like it was like, oh shit, I can do this. I can definitely do this. This is easy. And I just kept doing that then. And then you can bring in the joke writing stuff into that. And it just seems to be the best thing working for me. And I don't get bored either. I get bored if I'm just telling the same jokes. So, and it works as kind of therapy as well, because I get to speak, I get to anything that I'm holding in. Like nobody should really have too much secrets, because it eats you up from inside. So it's like a superpower. It's like Eminem in 8 Mile. It's like, tell me something you don't know about me. Go.
Yeah.
And it's way more fun when I'm just, because that's the real me. Like anyone could write a joke about a red bus or a garbage can or whatever, but nobody can write about my life, like things that happened to me while I was alone. Like nobody can write those things because it's completely unique.
Definitely, and it's very individual point of view when you're doing that. It's so subjective, but at the same point, it just somehow relates to all of the people, because I think when you're saying out loud the truth, it's more relatable, and everybody just like in the audience at that moment, yeah, they can be like really, really anxious about what's going on the stage, but at the same point, they are relating to that because they couldn't be so brave to say it out loud. And that's why it's working, I suppose. And they are like, oh yeah, I'm recognizing that shit. Like that happened to me as well. That's why it's funny. Yeah, that's interesting. We talked about the inspirations before, like in general, but can you remind how long have you been in Toronto?
I've been in Toronto 14 years.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so I came when I was 21, and I was planning on staying for a few months or a year, and I just never went back. The visa process, like so many people go through difficulties with visa. I feel so lucky the way it happened with me. I actually accidentally got extra time. Like not illegally, but like I get just the timing that I came, I got 1 year visa, then I got another 1 year visa, and then I got a 2 year visa. So I got 4 years before I had to think about PR, and then getting PR was just happened after that in a very timely fashion as well. It's like it just worked for me to be able to stay, and I was escaping law. Like I studied law in school. I was supposed to become a lawyer. That's what I was doing, and I said I'd take a quick break and then go back, and I just started bartending here. And I was bartending downtown, so I would like talk to lawyers all the time that hated their lives. And they just said like, I just work 16-hour day, then they'd come in and they'd drink 5 pints, just tell me how much reading they have to do, how much writing, how it's brutal. It's like they'd be wearing suits, like it's good money, but it's not worth it. And I was like, I'm not going back. I'm not doing it. And it wasn't, but I was very mixed up and lost. until I found stand-up then, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I didn't want to open my own bar or anything like that. I enjoy bartending because I get to talk to people and the money can be good, but I knew there was something else for me and I didn't know what it was. It was like I tried sales a couple of times. I was like, I hated it, and I was like, what is it like? And when I started doing comedy, I was like, okay, this is it. This is it.
And that's the funny thing that I've noticed about the legal education. I'm a lawyer myself. I have a degree in law, but I'm in the criminal law. I used to be like attorney in Ukraine, but never worked a day. Like I used to study that. And I've noticed that when you are a lawyer and you're a very artistic person, you're just combining those two skills of analyzing and adding something creative into it. And that's really helped in your comedy. Did you trace the same thing while you were doing
100%. I've had the thoughts before thinking that I've just went the good route. I still use the same thing. I'm standing up in front of people, making sure they listen to me, making a point. But now I'm doing it to make people laugh instead of like sending someone to jail or like keeping criminals out. I often say like that if I was a lawyer, because I would be good. Like if I did it, I'm like good. I try to be the best at everything that I do, whether I'm playing soccer or fighting or writing, reading, singing, whatever. I want to be the best at everything. And so if I was a lawyer, I'd be driving a Ferrari. I'd be sending innocent people to jail. Like I'd be keeping criminals out. I'd be like, whatever needed to be done, I'd do it. But I think I wouldn't be as good of a person.
Well, who knows?
But who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'd be off saving kids, doing humanitarian stuff. Put Jeffrey Epstein into jail.
You can be like definitely a barrister as well, which can work. But getting back to the question about Toronto, like the local stage. So you had enough time to do your own research, and what do you think about can you name a couple of names? That you really interested in when you see their comedy on a stage, and like you would highly recommend everyone who comes in Toronto to see how they are performing.
One of the best performances I've seen. See, they're not a lot of the lads that I was in awe of when I started. They've actually moved on now. At the very start, the first bigger comedian that I became friends with was Kyle Lucy, and now he's traveling all over. Like every time he comes home, he headlines Yuck Yucks, but he got his Irish passport, so he's traveling to Norway, to Sweden, Denmark, all different places around Europe, and just setting up headlining sets for himself. So he's doing that. Nitish Sakuya, he's down in LA now. He's a killer. He's one of the nicest guys in comedy. He's an absolute legend. I love watching his comedy just because he's such a cool guy. Like he's a good person. That just shows in your comedy. You want to hang out with him. So watching him was awesome. Ben Bankus is one that's he's a divisive character in Toronto for sure. Anytime I've seen him live, man, I've been dying laughing. He's getting a bit ruthless now, which I don't care what people do.
He's more notorious now, I guess.
Yeah, and he's going for the negative a bit, which sometimes is funny, sometimes isn't. But he's killing it. He's killing it. He's down in Austin, I'm pretty sure, and he's selling out all over. But anytime I've seen him live, he'd come into. I did a basement show as well. I did an underground show during COVID out of my basement, just when there was lockdown.
Nice.
And a lot of the bigger names used to come and do that. So Bankus did an hour and a half one day in front of 12 people, and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Jared Campbell he's fantastic. I've only seen him once at the corner, but his videos he puts up on Instagram now are amazing. But he just murdered. He absolutely murdered. It was crazy. It was amazing to see. Danny Martinello killing it as well. Lads that are here now. Who is Who would you say? Who's your favorite in the city?
In the city, I'm not familiar too much with the stage. I mean, like in general, before I came in here, because I got only 2 years in here.
Yeah.
But in general, comics that I'm really admiring on the stage right now, who I really consider as a pro, and I love how they work with their own character, with their own delivery. I think my top would be Hannibal Dune, Paris. You definitely need to see that guy. If you haven't done that, I'm just talking to my audience. If it's not a big one, but as well. Who else? I really loved how Brian Head is working with the audience as well. Like how he's doing the crowd work, and before he launches the amateur night at Yuck Yucks. And I haven't seen too much, but I guess one of my most favorite comedians is the resident of the Corner Comedy Club, Jeff Paul. I think that's the man who brings in the atmosphere just with a snap of the fingers. Every time I see him on the stage, I was like, okay, he is really talking all the stuff that he experienced, and you can understand that he doesn't want maybe he wants to get big, but it's only my suggestion. But like he loves to do it like in the so intimate atmosphere on the small stage in a club, and like messing up with people. And he did the special recently, as I know. Like he's from Niagara Falls, I guess. Yeah.
Right.
So he did like there is the old church in there. And he did his special. He taped it.
Nice! I gotta watch that, because I don't think I've seen it. I've seen his name always on the corner thing, but I've never been there while he was there. No, maybe if I saw his face, I might know him, but I don't think I've seen him. But I will though. But that reminded me, Dan Gyrey was always my favorite.
Garrett Jameson.
Garrett, very good as well.
Yeah, like I really loved his stuff. All the times that I've been in the corner and he was doing his sets really killed me out. Like I was ready to just blast, because like every fucking joke that he does is clever and so playful.
Yeah,
that was what I loved about it.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Paul Thompson? He's moved out.
I'm not sure.
He's moved out east now, I'm pretty sure, but he's brilliant as well. Brett. Oh no, I'm after. Brett? No. I know him well. I don't know why his name is out of my head, but he does like the Alberta accent over. What's? I can't. I'm optimistic.
We'll figure it out.
His name, yeah. But there's a few very good guys. Ariel and my brain is just literally have to turn it off. But and Brandon, like Ariel and Brandon, when they're on form, like they're very.
Brandon Sobel and Ariel Kagan.
Yes.
Yeah, we just mentioning the names like in full way because.
But they're. I see them so often, so I know a lot of the jokes and stuff, but sometimes I'm like, they're married to these bits or whatever, and then I watch it after about a month, and it's like, he figured it, he got it. Like they both, because they're teaching the comedy dojo now, they're very nerdy about like their bits and writing jokes and stuff. But sometimes when they go on to a riff session or whatever, sometimes it just blows the roof off the audience. They do very, very well.
Okay, so like as well, you're performing like in a lot of places. Comparing to like that places that you've been performing, which one do you think the comedy venue, is one of not the greatest, but like really, really worth it to perform in, like in Toronto or GDA?
My favorite place was always the Corner. I've only done it maybe 6 or 7 times, but that's where I used to go before I start comedy. I used to go there and watch. Like I would watch Dan Gyrey, Natish, Kyle, and I would always that's where I went to watch them, and that's where I was like, I want to do this. I'm going to do this one day. Ryan Long used to be there a lot as well. He's killing it down in New York now. So I used to go there a couple of times a month. Even I would go on my own sometimes and watch them all the time. So when I got to come back to the Corner for the first time, it was like a big deal for me then to be like, because it was always such a fun show. It was always such a tight one, and the room is so tight together. It's downstairs. It's dark. It's a comedy club. It's awesome. Like Yuck Yucks is cool. It's very big though, and it can be great. But that small area in the corner is unreal. But I've only done it a few times. I'm on the list now, so I should be on it this month. They just put me on the drop-in list, so hopefully, yeah, I should be doing it this month. But since I started at Backroom, this has been the best progression that I've had. I mean, my basement dungeon, the dungeon was epic. Like it was a wild little. I had a bartender shaking cocktails in the back. Like this was a fun time with 10 headliners every night. It was amazing because no one had a place to go. Yuck Yucks was shut down, the corner was shut down, and people were coming there. Like 15 people would pack it out, but then they were buying drinks. We had such an amazing time down there. It was so good. So that stage was crazy, but the corner I love doing. But Backroom now, what Backroom has given to me, having a place to go that I feel welcome at. They've helped me out. I did the dojo with them. They gave me pointers, advice. Now Backroom, it feels like home. You know, I wish I could do it more often. Now I'm working an awful lot of nights now because the World Cup is on, so I'm bartending a lot. But Backroom, they've helped me a lot, and I do really love that stage now. Even say, you know, I know that that's kind of the usual background in any of the videos that I've recorded and stuff. So they're and it's a great spot as well. It's laid out kind of like the corner. The corner, just that iconic like thing at the back. That's just in my head as like that was what I was trying to get to when I was starting out, and then getting there was cool. But Backroom has been absolutely amazing now as well.
Yeah. So like a lot of comics, like nowadays, they're trying to make their career not only in live performances but digital. Yeah, because being in digital, it obviously gives you like more fan base. But what is your thought about it? I mean, like, is it hard for you to go in the digital space, or you perform like you would like to perform the?
I hate it. I hate the digital space. I hate it. Like I hate posting videos. I hate doing any of that stuff. I hate being on the computer watching the same joke like 20 times, trying to cut it down. And I'm like, by the time I get to posting, I'm like, I hate this joke. This is not funny at all. But I have to post it because I've put in the time now. And then I tried to change the thing using AI and change the screen, and now it's too zoomed in, and I'm asking it, I'm like, how do I fix it? I know you can learn how to do this, but it feels like I try to do it and I can't do it. Then I post half-baked videos, then I do the captions, it's getting the captions wrong. I know this is like the stuff that you kind of, Mike Tyson said discipline is doing what you hate but doing it like you love it. But the digital stuff, because it's kind of cancerous as well. I'm looking at my phone for so long, and now I'm getting distracted. I don't want to be on Instagram. I want to be in real life. Like real life, I'm wasting time when I'm online. And it feels like, and then the dopamine hit you get from getting a few likes, and then it's like you don't get likes. It doesn't hit the algorithm. Now I feel bad about it or whatever. I think it's consistency. You just got to keep doing it. And if I had more time, I would do more, because I know it's part of it. But yeah, to answer the question, I really don't like it.
But yeah, like
I want someone else to do that for me, which will happen too.
That's true, but then there is an opposite side. A lot of like influencers or just like guys who are positioning themselves as comedians as well, but they are just doing that in digital space. They are coming to stand up. And I don't know if they feel that kind of struggle, but like, how do you think sometimes it really affects their personality on the stage? How do you think, can they be more sincere to the audience at that point, or they are just like trying to be the hostages of their own character that they created in the media?
Yeah, 100%. It definitely does. That's why, like, the more I stay offline, the more of a unique Darren, like the more authentic me that I can be, because I'm living life more. I did go on. I was posting a lot a while back. Like after I did the dungeon, I went a bit like psychotic, because I thought I'm the man now. Like I know all these good comedians. I've been hosting. Like I had the most stage time throughout COVID, because I was on stage 3 times a week hosting. So I'd be on stage for like 25 minutes every 3 times a week, where there was no open mics, no anything. So some people were getting like 5 minutes once a week. I was getting more than anyone else. So I got I was feeling good. I was feeling confident. People wanted to talk to me because they wanted to get on the shows. It felt like I was big. And then after that, I remember I had trouble at work, and I was just told, I was like, fuck you, and left. And then I went traveling, and then I was like posting everything. Then I was like just being, I mean, I had fun. I wasn't hurting anybody except myself, I guess. But then I was always posting, being like, look at me, look at this, look where I am. It was fun. I mean, I was trying to send a good message. It was good, but just looking back at that, I was just like, I had the phone in my hand so often. I missed out on stuff, you know. Now I want to be a bit more, maybe I'm a bit older now, but I just want to be in the moment a bit more, and it's not anyone else's business what I'm doing, really. I would like to make more funny content and videos to make people laugh, but not because I want to be more known. Like, I have lots of friends, I have family, the people, and I always meet new people randomly anyway. I don't need everybody coming at me with admiration. I think I was searching for that for a little bit at the start, but now I'm a bit more content in who I am. I don't need anyone else's thing. I like doing comedy. I like the sound of people laughing when I'm talking. So it's a fun thing to me. It's like going playing soccer or something. It's like, it's a good way for me to spend my time, and I get better at it as I'm going on. But before, I was like, I need to be famous. I need everyone to know that I'm good. I need everyone to know me. But I don't want that now. I think fame is almost probably the punishment that comes along with
I think it's the confusion right now. Yeah, because, like, for example, what is the fame for most people? It's like being rich, being powerful, and whatever, being recognized, being heard. But, like, when you're doing the comedy on the stage, I think the main point about it is, like, to control the chaos that you're experiencing right now at that moment, because, like, at that moment your thoughts are just rushing in, like, all the time, switching. You need to calm yourself down. You need to, like, settle down in general, just get grounded at some point. And what I've noticed, why I love to do it, it's not about the laughs, it's just like the bonus. I used to talk to Matthew Cumming in the previous episode. We talked about the secondary reward. As soon as, like, for me, the first reward is, like, when you're doing and you're saying whatever you would like to say on the stage. And then, like, it may be not funny. You may bomb. You may, whatever can happen. But if you're going in there, you're just expressing yourself at some point, and then you're just trying to grow the meat on that statements that you would like to say. So probably that's the addiction. It's not that kind of addiction when you're just like, okay, I need more laughs. And, you know, like, no one does it for laughs, obviously.
It's kind of like the control is kind of fun. You know, if everyone's listening to you, because we all actually want to be listened to. Like, that's what everybody needs. If anyone's in a bad mood, it's because someone's not listening to them. When the person that they want to listen to them, it might be an ex-girlfriend, it might be their mom, it might be their dad, it might be their friend, it might be their roommate. They just want to be listened to. They want their opinion to come across and you to understand it. That's just what we do. That's what we're doing. Like, the most difficult questions are the ones that we plan. Like, if you're going to an interview or you want a job, you're really asking for this job, you're going to plan. You're like, what am I going to say? How am I going to say it? How am I going to put it across? When you ask somebody to marry you, you make sure that they're listening. You're down on one knee. You got to ring out. You have their attention. That's what all we need as human beings, is the attention of somebody else. As well, like, we're just two people right now. We have each other's attention, and it's good. You know, it's a nice feeling. But you're getting that off a sea full of people. So because of the way that you've been able to craft your words and your cadence and the way you're able to speak, so you're getting that. The thing that people want most in the world is attention. Not until it's too much, and then you want to be alone. But, like, that's the power thing. That's the kind of the cool feeling. That's the drug. Because comedy can be like a kind of a drug.
Like the control as well. And I think it hits completely different when you're saying something meaningful and people are like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes even, like, when they are just, like, applauding you, Yeah, it hits more like in a different, completely different way. They are not even laughing, but they are just like supporting you with that. For example, with the applause, and yeah, that's amazing feeling.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask more, I'm just recently also going through the difficult period in my comedy. At some point, I'm thinking that like I've reached the glass ceiling, So I'm bumping with the top of my head in it. But yeah, I'm trying to understand how to figure it out, how to write. So like what I've noticed, I completely lost for a couple of weeks, I've lost the desire to write down something.
Yeah.
So like, did you have that kind of periods in your life? And how did you deal with that? Like, were you just waiting, or you were doing something, like you just practiced something that really helped you out with that?
I mean, yeah, all the time. I always go through, like, that's, my life is constantly like that. Even like the most I've ever written, like in a row, I might have written for like 10 days in a row or something before knocking off my routine and then having to start it again. I remember the book, it's called The Artist's Way with Julia Cameron.
Yeah.
Like, even listening to that as an audiobook, she just gives you writing exercises and you have to do them. You have to do your morning pages. So that kind of stuff helps. But like, I wrote 3 days ago, like a rant about work, because there was stuff going on at work that's annoying me. I'm making a bit less money now than I should because of stuff that's going on at work. And I just did a rant. But before that, I haven't written in months. Even since I went to Backroom, I haven't really been writing things down. Not that I don't want to. Like, it's my discipline hasn't been there, but just because every time I get on stage, it's just I just try the natural thing, and that's what's kind of fun to me. But I, like, if I want to turn this into a career, I have to start treating it like one, and then. And so I would like my writing to be raised up again, but I'm in one of those periods right now, if that makes sense. Like, I haven't been having the desire to write.
Because actually what, like, exaggerating that feeling of being stuck at some point, it's like social media as well. Like, know, when everyone is like performing at the open mic or whatever, they're putting out the stories on Instagram, and that is the moment when I'm feeling like, okay, I'm not progressing, I'm just stuck. I'm procrastinating, doing nothing, I'm not writing. Yeah, like I feel like shit. But in that way, as well as stopping to compare yourself to those people and just let it go. What I've noticed, it really helped me out. When you're not squeezing out of yourself the material, but you're just trying to like accumulate it. It's like the defensive mechanism of our brain. As soon as you're just like squeezing it out all the time, you're just writing. Even if you're experiencing a lot of shit in your life, you're just like at some point your brain just goes blank. Like, stop for a moment, please don't do anything to me. And then you're just like, what the fuck? I haven't written anything like in a week or like in a couple of days. What's going on? And I don't want to. And then, like, with time, I realized that it comes back to me at some point. You're just like making some notes, whatever, the idea, not even like the observation, but just when you're in that emotional state, when you are not forcing yourself to do that, it comes back. And you're like, okay, I want to try that.
Well, you've done some psychedelics, have you? You've done mushrooms?
I've done acid one time, and I guess it was mushrooms. I'm not sure. Yeah, like I tried a couple of them.
Like, on a couple of deep trips that I've had, it kind of always points me back to the same place, and everything slows completely down, and it feels like I can kind of see the fabric of the universe or whatever, and I understand, I can do anything that I want. We're limitless beings, we can do anything. So, but when it slows down, I can clearly see that the music is talking to me, that everything in my world is set up because I want the things that I want. I have friends that are into comedy, so anytime I forget about comedy or forget about writing, somebody texts me. My friend Mark Karakianitis will text me, and that reminds me. And then after Mark texts me, I'm like woken up again, and now I'm like, oh, comedy, there's books about comedy all over the place. So in my vision, comedy, it's already happening. Like the life that I've asked for is already happening. I'm already living it. And sometimes it seems like I'm not, but then because I have to go to work, I have to bartend, then I get to bartend. A regular comes in and asks me, how are the comedy shows going? So like, that's what God is to me. It's like everybody else, everything else is always reminding me comedy in a good way, bit by bit. And if you slow it all down, you just enjoy the process, realize that it's already going to happen. It's happening. So everything I read, I'll skip past the bits that don't resonate, but the bit about comedy, that'll pop into my head because that's the thing that I want to do. So reading, you just got to take in everything, take in life, and realize that you're going the right direction anyway. Yeah. So when you're saying you're stagnant writing, you don't want to be a writer. You don't need to write. What you want to be is 5 steps past that. Maybe writing right now isn't the thing that you need to do. Maybe you need to just put that down, read for a bit. Reading and writing goes together hand in hand, or do something else, or watch a movie, pick out a movie and realize, why am I watching this movie right now? Why did my hand click on this? And just enjoy, and then forget about it again. Because if you keep doing that, that's how you go crazy. If you keep trying to
repetitive thing,
and you look for signs in the universe, then that's how you start. You just go nuts. So you just gotta accept that, remember it, that your life is the way you've chosen your life to be here right now. You've chosen the place you want to live, you've chosen who you want to live with, you've chosen the job you want to do, you've chosen all those things, and you're in it right now. So if you want something different, you got to choose something different, and then just accept that it's going to happen, because you're built the way you are. In all your years have brought you to this moment. So the same thing will happen in the future.
Yeah, that's completely resetting your mind. You really mentioned that, and I realized that I remembered that term, like about schizophrenia. It's like doing the repetitive stuff with the same result, expecting the different result.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
There's
a definition of madness.
Yes, like that's definitely the same thing. But again, like what I've noticed, when you're just resetting your mind, at some point you're just like, okay, I don't want to write, but I want to try some wild stuff. Like what no one does it, for example. Yeah, I'm going and just like staying silent for a minute or 2 or 3 during my set. It completely resets your writing skills as well, because like you stepped over it and you're just like, yeah, that's funny, that's where it worked for me, I wanted to do that, just had fun. And after, you're just like, okay, I got this thoughts, what they are coming to me, and yeah, just need to write it down, that's it.
Yeah, taking your time on stage is huge. Taking a breath, silence is your friend. If you have silence, then they're listening. That means they're listening. If they're not chattering, they were waiting for you to say something, and they'll wait 10 seconds, they'll wait 15, and you can catch your composure. Remember that you do this all the time. You're funny. Whatever you say is going to be funny. Just calm down, and then you get to have a lot of fun when you're in that position.
But again, we so lost in that narrative about like tightness in comedy. So a lot of people who are just trying to do that, sometimes they are forgetting about the silence. Yeah, like the rests that we need to have. That's why comedy reminds me of jazz, and that's why it actually had its origin from stand-up were done in the jazz clubs, and it was done in like strip clubs where the musicians were playing as well. So definitely that's the thing, you need to feel the rhythm, you need to feel like to move with your material as well, just making it breathe at some point, because some of the comics that I've noticed, they are just like going tighter. I'll do the machine gun of jokes, and no one's laughing because everybody thinks like, that's fucking crazy, dude. What are you talking about? Yeah, and silence is really important. That's what I've learned, definitely. And sometimes it creates more tension.
Yeah. Because then, if you use a silence well enough, sometimes you can just bang, the next thing you say, it doesn't even have to be that funny, but if you just pull it out of nowhere, they don't know what to expect, so you're shocking them anyway. When you're silent, when you're like, that's basically meditation, you're focusing on your breath, you're going to remember whatever you want to do next, or you're going to think of something that you want to do next. I think on one of the comedy clubs, it just says, I think on the sign before you go out, I think maybe in the mothership, Rogan said it just says, "Shut up, you'll think of something," or you'll think of something. But yeah, we're afraid of that silence. We're afraid of that judgment. We're afraid of the whole ground swallowing you up. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It never matters. Yeah.
Man, I remember I did that bit. Like, actually, I've been talking to people about like that comedy, that we want like a lot of shit to happen. Yeah, we want like laughter, but we don't want silence during the comedy. And then I just kept myself silent, and people are like, and started laughing. I was like, what are you waiting for? The joke? There is no joke anymore. And yeah, that's the funny thing to do sometimes, like just to ground yourself and like stick to it. Okay, we are close to the end, but like in general, I would like to ask you, what do you think is so different? Like, you've been here for 10 years, but comparing to the first time that you came to Toronto and you've seen how the industry works in here, and comparing right now, what have changed significantly in your vision?
In comedy?
In comedy, yes.
That what has changed from my...
Yeah, from your own perspective. Like, I mean, not about your comedy, but in general, the industry that we're working in right now. Yeah, like for 2 years, I'm in here. I didn't know what happened here before.
Yeah.
But you've been here before, so you can definitely compare what happened before COVID and what's happening now. What have changed significantly?
Well, when I started doing comedy, it was wild. Like there was a big Facebook group. It was like TSUC, Toronto Stand-Up Community. There's a different one now, but the one that I was on, there was a few thousand people on it, and every day there was people arguing. It was just like, I think it feels like it's calmed down a lot more now. Like people are concentrating on their own stuff. But at that time, there's like comedians that have been doing it 15 years. Like they're like having proper arguments back and forth on this. I guess it stopped because people can make videos and do different stuff now. Like it's social media has kind of changed a bit more, and there's more you can do for yourself. But back at that time, just it was so divisive. People didn't like this side. It felt like a war zone, to be honest. And now I think COVID it was very similar. There's a lot like comedians on the left, comedians on the right, comedians that like dark stuff, comedians that like the other stuff, maybe the one all-inclusive shows, comedians that are against that. That's never going to stop. That's, the divisiveness. Like comedy is just a reflection of the world outside anyway. So outside it's divisive like that. Like if you watch the news,
it's like less communication. Definitely less communication with people.
Yeah, and it's crazy that we have the least amount of communication now that we have a communication device that you can communicate with anyone at any time, and we just don't. Which is nuts. But for me, I think it's gotten better. But I think that's just my own view of it now, because like whatever's inside is what the reflection that happens outside. So right now I'm enjoying comedy, so I don't see any negativity with it. But I'm sure somebody that's not enjoying comedy right now can see all the negative things about it. But for me now, I don't really care about what anyone else really thinks. If somebody likes me, if somebody doesn't. And because of that, everybody I encounter, I seem to have a good, positive relationship with. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it right now. Maybe it's, obviously you get better and the anxiety goes down and people treat you better if you're doing better. And I've been closing out shows, and I've killed a good few times at the back room. So people kind of treat you better then anyway. So I'm not seeing any of the divisiveness really. And if I do hear anything, I kind of tune out of that kind of stuff now. I'm choosing my own adventure, and it's like I don't have to climb the same steps as everyone else. I'm from Ireland. Like if people say this is how you do it, you got to go to Yucks, and then you got to do this, and then you got to do this. It's like I can do whatever I want.
Yeah,
I'm a free man. I just happen to do comedy, and it goes pretty well when I do, and I'm enjoying it. So it looks like the community is getting better. I think Backroom is helping with that. We're doing the dojo and bringing in new batches of people, and people actually helping each other out. Because when you started doing comedy, like you would do an open mic and it would go terribly, and then I'm just trying not to cry for the rest of the show. Nobody talks to me. I didn't know anyone, and then I have to go home and just be like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
But now that I have friends around and stuff and doing the dojo, when I came back to do it, I would do my set and then they would give me instant feedback. So now people are giving each other feedback. People are trying to help each other out. I feel like what I'm witnessing is I think there's a bit of love coming back.
But there's a dark side of it as well. I mean, like a lot of people who are getting friends, they are not like objective to your comedy as well sometimes. I'm not talking about your case, but in general, I've seen like people were going out on the stage bombing and then like they have their friends in there. Oh, you did good. Great set. What the fuck? Like, why are you not getting honest with me? Okay, I bombed. I know that I bombed, but that hypocrisy makes me feel even shittier. So if I'm looking for the honest feedback, that would be like the most appreciated things.
Yeah, I'll never tell someone they did good when they didn't. I can highlight the positives for sure, and I do the feedback show, so I have to try to get better at letting people know and seeing them getting better. But no, the best feedback I would always get my buddy Chris Reed. He's not a comedian, but I would send him a video or he would come in and watch me. And I would think I killed. Like I would do so well. Everyone's laughing. People are talking to me after show, and then he just runs me. He just rips it from under me. He's like, "You're yelling too much. You're speaking too much. You're swearing too much. You gotta slow down. You gotta do this. You gotta do that." He would point out all the bad things, and it would just take away my high completely. And I'd be like, "Okay, I know." And then that helps immensely then, because now I know I have to get better.
But yeah, like you're also trying to balance it, because sometimes if hears like do a lot of criticism in your address, so you're like, okay, I'm not feeling like that. I mean, like you're doing it good, you're feeling good about it. Yeah, like you can just definitely have the objective criticism. But as soon as some people who are not in that sphere, they are not understanding how you're reacting on the stage and what are you doing, they can't be also like too objective about it, because they are just like, okay, it's a matter of taste, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But this guy's like, he's a very good friend. Like, I know that as ruthless as he gets, he tells the truth. And even if I don't like it, that's kind of what I need to hear at the time, because when everyone else is like, that's great, him telling me that kind of stuff is what makes me remember, I haven't reached it yet. I haven't, like, I can get better. I can enjoy it, but yeah, it's always, you always want to be getting better. Like in 10 years time, I won't have reached it. Like you always want to be getting better. I remember Louis said it to Theo Von one time on the podcast. He said he listened to one of his specials and he was laughing so much. He said, "How long have you been doing it?" And Theo said, "I've been doing it 17 years. And Louis was like, "Wow, you're that good after just 17 years? He said, "Wait till you get to year 23, 24, you're going to be an absolute monster." And I was like, holy shit. Like, that's true. It's like, it's a long road. We don't have to retire. We're not basketball players. We don't have to stop when we're 40. You can just keep getting better and keep enjoying it.
Sometimes I feel like, stand-up comedy is a marathon and we're all Terry Foxes. Running that way. Yeah. But yeah, like
just broken people trying to get to some kind of
that's so true. Like, what's your, like, one of the last questions, what's your tip that someone gave you about stand-up comedy? It can be not stand-up comedian, but like someone really close to you, and that is actually your not motto, but like your engine that makes you move further for the progress in stand-up.
I think the one that sticks out, like when I heard it on a podcast, they didn't say it to me, but I heard it was he's Canadian, but he's Mike Wilmot. He was on the podcast with Ben Bankus actually, and Ben asked him what advice would you give to somebody doing stand-up comedy, and he just said, as soon as you go out into the microphone, in your head, just say 1, 2, 3, who gives a shit? And I was like, that's it. Like you gotta just that's it. It doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter what. And if you bomb, it's not gonna matter. You're learning. Every time something bad happens, you're learning. So just enjoy it. But yeah, the 1, 2, 3, who gives a shit? I've used that a few times, and it's like, yeah. And then I always have fun. I always have fun when I'm like, this, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. We're making people laugh. It matters less than pouring beer for someone. Do you know, it's like, nobody's going to remember anything. The only way they're going to remember you is if it goes absolutely great. And the 1, 2, 3, who gives a shit? Yeah, that's all that's coming to my head right now. I mean, I've gotten so much advice over the years, but a lot of it is like, you got to write every day, this kind of stuff. And that's not true. Big J doesn't, Big J, who I think is one of the funniest people, he doesn't write. What my advice would be is be as uniquely you as at all possible. Like, because that's the person that they don't know. When I went down to the mothership in Austin, I went 5 days in a row, so I saw like killers every single day for 5 days. And the one thing I noticed, that none of them were like any of the other ones. They were all just themselves, being themselves, different styles, their own. Everyone had a unique style. So just be as perfectly you as you can possibly do, which is very difficult to do. Nobody can do that. That's what we're all striving towards. The best comedian is the person that's themselves, and one day they might be themselves and the next day they might not be, because we all have to wear masks in society and whatever. True. But as close you can get to yourself, that's what we're all learning to try to do, I think.
Okay. So the last minute is the promotional minute. So you can tell our audience your Instagram to follow, like also the shows where they can see you performing. Yeah. And the last request, I'm always doing like the small fragment of the song that is like on repeat or whatever, just like makes you move through the city nowadays, or just like supports you with the comedy. So do the promotion and name the song that I will put in the end.
So Darren Bourke Comedy is my Instagram, Bourke. Right now I don't have a YouTube. It's down. I need to start that. It's just Darren Bourke on Facebook. Usually I'm at Backroom Comedy Club is where I've been at mostly. On Sundays I'm always there, and hopefully I'll be there a lot more in the future. That's where I do the feedback open mic, so that's like the Kill Tony style show, and I'm up there doing feedback at 10 o'clock on Sundays. I guess that's my promotional. What song is getting me through the city? I've been listening to a lot of Irish stuff. There's a song, and the song I played most in the last day, but I only heard the song like 3 days ago. It was this beautiful, crazy. It's called like Luke Combs, because my friend just played it the other day when I was at his house, and I really enjoyed that song. But it's nothing to do with comedy. It's more to do with my crazy love life.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, like, it doesn't matter, but that actually makes you more emotional with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Killeagh. That's what I've played most of for the year. It's an Irish song, an Irish band.
Nice.
But that's it's a good song.
Yeah, I will ask you for the link.
Okay, perfect.
And then I can edit. Okay, yeah, it was the second episode of Drafted Dodger. Thank you, Darren, for coming here.
Thank you very much, man. Thanks for having me. It was fun.
You're welcome. Follow me up on my social media. It's Instagram and all that stuff. You can find it in bio. So, yeah, and now we're listening to the Darren's choice of the song.